Hey, you guys. I been kind of resting because of all the hours I was up, and I see your comments, and I saw a couple about the idiom of Feast of Trumpets. Okay, I looked it up for myself, just to see if maybe I can read what you guys are reading. And I am going to, let's see if I can, I'm going to share this. First, I'll have to look it up on this phone, I think, and then I'm going to share the link. But it does say, yes, this particular one is, I think, only giving the one idiom, no man knows the day or hour. But it goes on to say, because you know what? One of the comments, I get it. I know exactly what you're saying, even though it is the idiom, no man knows the day or hour. I still couldn't reconcile that verse that when Jesus said, not no one knows but the Father. I was like, well, that doesn't answer my question. I'm with you. I was like, no man knows the day or hour, but still, what about Jesus said, no one knows but my Father? How do you explain that? How do you explain that? So, yes, let's see if they said something about that in here. They kind of did because so I was concocting in my mind how I've told you on the videos that as he blows the trumpet, if you know anything about the Galilean wedding, you should look that up because the Galilean wedding has a lot to it, and they've even made many movies out of it, like many videos of explanation on how the Galilean wedding works. Because first they're betrothed, they share the cup. Nowadays we share an engagement ring. Okay, that's basically what that was an engagement ring, and they drink. It also means that you literally are married, pretty much. You just have not consummated it yet. Just like we're married to Jesus right now on earth as a human being. He is our husband. We're born again, we're saved, but we haven't consummated the marriage yet. Now again, when the bride then has the engagement, drinking the wine, she goes home, he goes home. He builds the house onto their house because they're going to be married. He does not make the bride wait indefinitely. He doesn't say, let's see, I'll have this house built for us in maybe 5 years, maybe 2, maybe 6, maybe 4. Nope. He did not make his engagement wife wait and not even know. Okay, we know we're in the year of dispensation. It's 6,000 years now. Jesus made everything in 6 days and rested on the 7th. Okay, so the 7th day he rested. 1 day is as 1,000 years. 1,000 years is of a day. So 1,000-year millennium is like a day. 6,000 years is like 6 days. The earth is 6,000 years old. I didn't mean to get into this, but I'm just saying this because the bride is not to be waiting indefinitely. She knows a time frame. When he goes away to his father's house to build their home upon his father's house, it's like an add-on. When you buy a house, and maybe your grandparents back in those days, it was more common. They're like, oh, let me build onto this house. My grandpa, he bought a little cracker box house. He even had it moved from another town in Oklahoma into another area of Oklahoma on some land. It was just tiny little square house. They built on it over the years. And as his 2 boys grew up, my 2 uncles, they would build upon it. They built a garage. They built an attic. They built another story. This is why Jesus says, I go to my Father's house. I'm building you many mansions. Okay. That's because we're his bride. We're his betrothed. And he said, I'm going to go, like in the Galilean wedding. All the disciples knew what he was talking about. They go to the Galilean wedding. That husband goes to his father's house to build on to his father's house for them, for him to go come get the bride and take him. There is a certain time. When Jesus died, it was 2,000 years ago. That's 2 days. So when a Galilean wedding, he says, I'm going to go build you a house. I'll come and get you. She knew it was about 2 years. He's going to have that house finished in 2 years. 1 year is actually the more common. It took that guy about 1 year. Okay, but the bride delayed his coming, or the bridegroom delayed his coming. See, so maybe it's going to be 2 years instead, because Jesus has been ascended into heaven for 2,000 years. So he tarries. So that bride, she's not going to be waiting indefinitely. She already knows in her mind. This is tradition. This is tradition that in Galilee, that us women, when we're married, our husbands go and build us a home on their father's home, and it takes them about 2 years. When it gets time, it's closer to 2 years, this bride, I've heard this years and years ago, but I haven't seen it since. But I heard that when it gets closer time to the 2-year mark or the 1-year mark, whatever the bride, I don't think the groom tells her, because remember, the father has to inspect the home, and the father has to say, okay, son, I approve of this home you've built for your wife. Go get her. Remember that part? In the Galilean wedding, that's how it works. So the husband can't go get his bride, even though the house is finished. He can't go get his bride until the father approves of the home he built upon his father's home. Okay, why did I go there? When the son says, Dad, come look, I'm finished. The dad comes, looks, he says, okay, I like it, go get her. He then has to, get all his groomsmen. He's all excited. Okay, you guys get up. Let's go make the procession to the bride's house where the 10 virgins are waiting. See, the bride, she knows it's approaching 10 years, 2 years. Just like I've told you before, Noah in the ark, as soon as he put that last tar on the roof, he's thinking it's almost time. As soon as that last animal got in there, he knew it's about time. Lot is the only one who was last minute. Now, those are for the last minute stragglers, I think, that are coming to Jesus. That's a picture of that, because that's a picture also of a city. A city. Noah is a picture of the whole world, okay? The whole world. Lot is a picture of, just like in Revelation, that city is burning in an hour. That is one of these cities, maybe New York. It's not America as Babylon, I don't think. But whoever, it doesn't matter. That's no consequence. Anyway, when the son is told, the bride knows that, okay, so this is what I've heard years ago. When the bride sees on her calendar, this many moons has passed, it's been this much time, it's been 2,000 years, it's been 2 days, the age of dispensation, she starts saying, it's time to start sleeping in my wedding dress. Because remember the verse, I'm coming for a bride without spot or wrinkle. Because she started sleeping in her wedding dress, it gets wrinkled. She starts eating in her wedding dress. She starts drinking. She's wearing her wedding dress. And this is also in other cultures. I forget what culture, where after they're married, they wear their wedding dress every day for a whole year after they're married. Now, that's after marriage. But I'm just saying, I was told in the Galilean culture that when it comes time for him to come calling for her, See, this is also why when he comes in midnight, she's sleeping and she has to boink out of bed and go iron her dress, or maybe she ironed it before she went to bed. But she's got to get dressed, right? No, she has to be ready. So she's sleeping in her wedding dress. She's got to be without spot and wrinkle. So she dribbled some wine on it. She'll be cleaning it before she goes to bed. Yeah. Okay. So, the point here is that she is not told to wait indefinitely. She knows when 2 years is about up. She knows when a year is about up. She knows. She's not sitting there twiddling her thumbs. I wonder if it's going to take 5 years, 3 years. Is it going to take 1 or 2 years? Is it going to take 6 months? All right. This is why we can know the day. And I've also told you about the parable, if you reread it, about the master of the house. In one verse it says, if the master, and that's talking about God himself. A few verses later, the master is a picture of you, the servant. Okay, if you reread that in Luke 12, you'll see that. The master of the house parable he gives in a couple verses before, in chapter 12, he says the master of the house, I forgot what it says, that is God himself. You go a couple more verses, Jesus talks about the master of the house again in another parable. The master, that is us. If we didn't watch for the thief, and you know the verse, he's not going to come upon us like a thief who are watching. He's only going to come upon the thief. So you have to know when the thief is going to come. Okay, so we're at the Galilean wedding, and no man knows the day or the hour, only my Father, which is true, because the Father is the one who has to approve of the add-on, the home. He has to, because it's his home first. It's his home. He doesn't want some shanty connected up to his home. He wants it nice. And so the dad has to go inspect it, his son, his home edition, and he says, okay, I like it. Go get your bride. So the husband now has to go get all his groomsmen, because it's a big procession. It's a big hoopla. Weddings in the Galilee were huge. They took a week or more. Then, okay, he's got these instruments. He's got the horn. He's got the tambourines and the drum. It's just like this big band coming down the street. It's loud. And that's what wakes up the 10 virgins, because they already knew too. They're like, oh, your groom is going to be here in 2 years, he said. So they're already sleeping on the street. So they can hear the procession coming. So they can get up. Oh, I'm woke up. That's loud. They light it up. They already know the tradition, you guys. So they're listening. They fell asleep. All of them fell asleep. They hear the racket coming, the procession. Then they light up. Then they're lighting the way. See, it's dark outside. There's no street lamps back then. They're lighting the way. And there's 10, yeah, but actually there's a whole town full of them. All of Galilee, the town is celebrating. So there's more than just 10. That's just a parable. Every virgin in that town of Galilee is on that street waiting, spread out. And it's dangerous at dark for a virgin to be sleeping outside. You don't do that. But they're in a large number. When they hear that music and he's coming, and they can't sleep out in the street for months on end, you people. No, they have to pretty much know the date. And I'm sure little messengers are coming back and forth. Oh, honey, I think daddy's going to like this. I've got only one more thing to do. Give me another week. I'm sure there's little messengers coming back and forth, right? So that these virgins aren't sleeping on the street nights on end. So then he's coming, and these virgins all wake up, and they're lighting the way. They're spreading out. They're lighting the way, okay, to the bride's house. This is where it gets awesome. So when the groom finally gets up to you're still wondering, only the Father knows. But I'm explaining to you the parable When the Father says, go get your bride, then the Son knows. The Son does know now. And he's not going to be quiet about it. He's not going to be quiet about it. He's going to let the virgins know. He's surely going to let his bride know. He's going to let his bride know. That is a parable he told before he was crucified. Also, remember, he wasn't dead yet. He didn't go to the cross yet. When he died, he arose from the tomb. Mary came, thought he was a gardener. And then he opened her eyes and she said, Master, Rabboni. She tried to hug him and he said, don't touch me. I haven't ascended into my Father yet. Do you ever wonder why he said that? I do. I still don't know. But he said, I have, because see, he ascended and then he came back down and snuck up on him in the upper room. Remember? She ran and told everybody, he's alive, he's alive. While she was doing that, he went back home to his Father, to God. And then he came back down and snuck in the upper room. Remember? He walked through the wall. He walked through the wall. He told Thomas, touch me. First he told Mary, don't touch me. And now he's telling Thomas, touch me. Do you see? Now we could touch him because he came back from his Father. Now he knows everything his Father knows, if you want to look at it like that. So when he told us that before he went home, crucified, rose again, ascended, came back down. Okay, so he actually ascended twice, right? Because on the whatever, everybody's gazing at him, and then he ascends up, and the angels say, why stand ye men gazing in like manner? So he arose again there too. So he's basically arisen twice. Now that I'm talking about it, he told Mary, don't touch me. I haven't risen back to my Father yet. And then he walked the earth for 40 days. And then he arose again. He just says, no one knows but my Father. It's kind of an idiom also that goes all encompassing with that Feast of Trumpets. And like I said, this is only giving the one idiom. There's more idioms. This is just giving the one idiom. No man knows the day or hour. That's just one. There's more. There's 4 more. I think one is a wedding. So when Jesus said that, no man knows, they knew exactly he was saying Feast of Trumpets. What if he said, instead of no man knows, what if they say, when is it? And Jesus says, it's the Galilean wedding. They would have gone, oh, the Feast of Trumpets. What if they said, when is it, Jesus? And he said, the windows of heaven will be open. They'll say, oh, that's the Feast of Trumpets. We know that idiom. Heaven is opened. Heaven is open means God is coming down. You know, so if one of the idioms is the wedding, if you find it, there's like 5 of them. One of those idioms, it's the Galilean wedding. No one knows but my Father. That's part of the idiom. That's part of the idiom. Even if he ascended and now he's one with the Father, which he always was. But after he rose again and Mary said hi and hug, and he said, don't touch me. Then he ascended. He knew everything the Father knows. Jesus says, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. So anyway, I wanted to make this video also I didn't know why I was going to make the video, but I went ahead and I saw the comments. So I thought, I'm going to try to explain this Feast of Trumpets thing and other parables, you guys. Like I said, the thief, the master of the house, go read that. How can the master of the house know when the thief is coming unless the master knows what time the thief is coming, what day or hour? Also, okay, so I'm going to share a few videos. This is the 25th, and it may not be today because I'm going to share you a video. Joshua really wasn't wrong. Okay, I want you to remember another verse. It says, it's a proverb. It is something about the kings, but it is an honor for you to search it out. It's you've got to search it out. God is the king, but it is your honor. It is honoring to him for you to search it out, right? Whatever that let me just look it up. No, I don't want to mess with this page. Okay, so we're searching it out. Now, I hate this. I hate this because this is what would happen every year when they try to, not every year, every month almost in the fall, they would go with all these fall feasts. So Jesus is coming here, Jesus is coming here, Jesus is coming this one. Until we figured out the Feast of Trumpets is basically, but then they would say, oh, wait, he didn't come. Oh, it's on this calendar. And then you got to wait another month. I hated that. And I got really sick of that because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? You guys that are calculating this, you shouldn't be doing this. You should be saying, look, Jesus could come on this day, but if he doesn't, I'm also looking at this calendar. If he doesn't come here, he'll come here. And then I'm going to look at this other calendar. Because if he doesn't come those 2 times, he's going to come on this time. But no, they'd always wait till the date passed and everybody's effing crushed. And then they would say, oh, wait a minute. I found another calendar. No, you didn't find another calendar. You just didn't calculate that calendar. That's cruelty, you jerk. And I even commented one time, and one of them said something like, well, that's kind of like where you're trying to see the future. What's that called? Yeah, you're trying to see the future. So you're looking into ahead. You're looking at, I'm like, well, you're trying to see into the future right now. Why don't you just do it on another month and another calendar? You know, that's not right. That's not a good excuse. If you're going to look into the future in a calendar and then you're saying you don't want to look at another calendar that's a later date because you don't want to look into the future, that sounds creepy to you. No, that's not a good excuse. So I'm telling you, there's this video and he's doing it. Yeah. He's like, okay, Jesus is talking about the Julian calendar. And if you listen to the video, you'll see what he means. You're going to see what he's talking about. It's a Julian calendar. He's talking, I haven't heard it all, and I can't comprehend some of this stuff. Maybe you guys can. But when Jesus died, there was an eclipse. You can't have an eclipse when there is a sliver of a moon. It has to be a full moon. So do you know where I'm going with this? So on the Julian calendar, it is September 23 and 24. If you go look at the Julian calendar right now, September 23 and 24, transposed on top of our calendar, Gregorian, will be October, I think. You know what I'm saying? When you take the Julian calendar that says 23 and 24 and you transpose it on top of our Gregorian calendar, the 23 and 24 in the Julian calendar are not the same as they are in the Gregorian calendar. If you impose it upon our Gregorian calendar, it will translate into October 7th is our 23 and 24 on the Julian calendar, where the moon is full. Okay? So I'm saying to you now, Jesus told us we would know the day so the thief wouldn't break open our house. I'm telling you that that's an idiom for Jesus to tell us when the day is. For generations since Jesus ascended into heaven that day and the angels say, why ye men gazing, standing, looking? You're going to see him. Ever since that day, the disciples have been looking for Jesus to come on the Feast of Trumpets. Every generation, everybody has been looking for Jesus to come. They just didn't realize it was going to be on the Feast of Trumpets. That's how we know the day and hour. That's how we know. We're getting more and more knowledge. Knowledge is increasing. The books are being opened the closer we get. We rode on horses for thousands of years with no telephones, TVs, planes, trains, or automobiles. All of a sudden, in the last 100 years, we've got it all. That's knowledge increasing. The computer used to be whatever, but now the computer updates every month. The computer is obsolete and a new one is coming. Used to, it was every 5 years. Then it was every 1 year. Then it was every 6 months. You get a new phone. You get an update. Every technology is updating itself smarter and smarter. Now we've got AI. Oh my goodness. Technology is updating itself. That's in the Bible. Knowledge will increase. Time will shorten. Time will get faster. Time will speed up. Okay. I don't know exactly yet what that means, but okay. So, all right. This is how we know the date. Okay. This is how we can know the date. Now, since this big hoopla, and I guess it's gone worldwide for the first time, and it is most worldwide, I should say. It's always been worldwide, but it's most worldwide now. So this makes it even closer. Plus all the world events, all these worldwide events, you guys. If it's not today, and it's, it could be October 7th, whenever the new moon is, whatever this guy, I'm going to share you the video. All right, bye. Love you. God bless you. Bye.